Hey Curious, I've got some exciting news for you if you're a soccer fan because this video is just right for you. They say that when money goes out the door, love goes out the window, and it seems that a story that seems so fairy tale-like and one that would end with a happily ever after between FC Barcelona and Lionel Messi is inevitably coming to an end. Though in this case, it was not the money that was an issue, since La Pulga, as he was nicknamed by the Spanish fans, has more money than he could probably even count. And it seems that bad decisions, misunderstandings, and other matters that happened outside of the field ended up ruining this beautiful career story between Barcelona and Messi, as well as hopes of the soccer club's fans. And since we're talking about money, which club or clubs are raising their hands to acquire the services of the Argentinian star? How much will they have to pay? And does his departure from the club imply any risk for Leo's pockets? I seriously advise you to stay with me until the very end, but before, don't forget to turn on the notifications and subscribe to our channel. I already mentioned it, but as much as the true fans of romantic stories, well, the soccer ones of course, between a team and a player, we would like them to never ever end. Unfortunately, they are less and less frequent. And when I say that the story of Messi and Barcelona is a perfect one, I'm not exaggerating. But to better understand why I say this, we have to go back to his beginnings. And yes, that implies traveling in time to beautiful Argentina. And it was precisely in the picturesque country, specifically in the city of Rosario, where on June 24th of 1987, Lionel Andreas Messi Cucchettini, the best soccer player on the planet in recent years, was born. When a phenomenon is born in some sport or whatever, it is noticed from the first years of their lives. And the case of this star, that was also the case, you know? Barely at 8 years old, he had already been included in the ranks of Rosario's Noel Old Boys Club. But his impressive talent and unparalleled dribbling were not the only things that caught the attention of the club's leaders, but his inability to develop physically. After his parents George and Cecilia conducted studies, they have found out that their son had a deficiency in the production of the growth hormone. They decided to subject little Leo to the treatment of injected G hormone every night. However, that did not provide them with any kind of guarantee that Messi would reach the height or the muscles to become a professional player. Also, let's not forget to mention just how expensive the treatment was for the family. And it is right in this part of the history where the Catalanian club makes its appearance. When Leo was 13 years old, the players' training academy La Masia belonging to FC Barcelona offered to cover the medical expenses. The Messi Cucchettini family could not refuse, so they left their native Argentina behind and started a new life in Spain. However, even though the move and this new life in Europe meant that young Lionel had a high chance to realize his most cherished dream, it was not easy as he never stopped missing the land where he was born. But luck was on his side, and of course the side of us soccer lovers. The treatment paid off, and although he was barely 5'7", he became a professional player when he made his debut with the first team on May 1st of 2005 at the age of 16, thus setting the record as the youngest player to score a goal for a club in the top circuit. Messi had not only managed to overcome all the adversities on his way by becoming a professional soccer player, but he also became the best professional soccer player on the planet and in the history of this glorious sport, and even being compared to his compatriot, the always controversial Diego Armando Maradona. And the rest is history, my curious friends. Hand in hand with Barcelona, he marked an era. In 2009, the team not only won the league title, but also conquered the most important club tournament on the planet, the Champions League. But that wasn't all. And to close with a flourish that same year, Leo and the Catalanian club also pocketed the Spanish Super Cup. That round performance earned Messi his first golden ball from a total of his 4 in his list of honors. From then on, it seemed that it would be impossible for anyone to snatch the recognition as the best soccer player in the world. That is until a certain Cristiano Ronaldo arrived. But well, that's another story. After looking at what the Argentinian master has achieved, I mean, that is to say, absolutely everything available, you may wonder if there is anything more important for a professional player. And of course there is, and that is to win the World Cup with your country's national team. Unfortunately, in that sense, the truth is that Messi has not had a good time at all. not only because of the sporting losses he has suffered, but also because of the harsh criticism from his own countrymen because of them, you know? I'll tell you about it. Although due to its historical background and its soccer reputation, Argentina is always among the great favorites to win the cup before each World Cup, and it has been 34 years since they last achieved that feature. And speaking in particular of Messi and his country's national team, the time when they came closest to achieving it was 6 years ago when they faced their nemesis in the competition in the Brazil final in 2014, the always powerful Germany. Although on that occasion, Leo and Argentina deserved more, but a solitary and spectacular goal in the agonizing second half by Mario Götze was enough to snatch Leo's big dream, professionally speaking of course, you know, to that harrowing defeat for the Argentinians. And when I use that adjective, I do it because I know that it was so. The point is that adding to that sad defeat, we can also add another equally hard one, like 2 consecutive defeats in the 2015 and 2016 Copa Americas finals, not to mention the elimination in the most recent FIFA World Cup at the hands of the French team that would eventually go on to become world champions. Since we mentioned the defeats against their Chilean neighbors, after the second one, Messi announced his retirement from the Argentinian national team. However, Leo came to his senses and returned to play in the 2018 World Cup in Russia. The truth is that if he is called up to attend the next one to be held in Qatar in 2022, which will surely happen, and in this case, he doesn't manage to lift the coveted trophy, Lionel Messi would go down in history as one of the several times considered the best player on the planet who couldn't win a World Cup with his national team, as he would be playing his last one with them. But independently and in spite of that, he can only boast such a record, but he can also be more than economically satisfied. I say this because after signing a new contract with Barcelona in 2017 until the 2021 season, according to Forbes magazine, the Argentinian star received an additional bonus of $59.6 million, and his salary was set at $667,000 a week, or to put it into another perspective, about $80 million a year. On top of that, the player's new contract included an $835 million release clause, and you may wonder why I'm telling you all of this, and I'll explain everything in detail in a moment. For now, I would like to make my point very clear when I say that Messi may have other concerns, you know, with what color shirt to combine with his several million-dollar costing cars, or what island paradise to buy next year. But the one thing is clear, in economic matters he can be more than calm. And besides the millionaire contract that he signed with the Catalonian club 3 years ago, at least according to Forbes, every year Messi pockets some $32 million from his various sponsors, among which are brands such as Adidas, Pepsi, EA Sports, and Turkish Airways, among several others. His economy is so buoyant that in 2019, the aforementioned Forbes magazine named him the highest paid sportsman in the world, surpassing Cristiano Ronaldo and basketball player LeBron James. You may wonder if such exorbitant amount is already tax-free or if the tax authorities should be deducted from it. And well, it seems that Messi himself was wondering the same thing, since in 2016, a tremendous scandal was created when the Argentinian and his father, who in turn his representative, were accused of tax fraud for tax evasion purposes. And despite the fact that both have said that they were unaware of any irregularities, the Spanish authorities sentenced them to 21 months behind bars. However, since according to the laws of the European country, it corresponds to a crime in the first instance and the sentence was less than 2 years. Both, however, avoided the cell by paying bail of 2 million euros. In the case of Leo, it was 1 million, and a half in the case of his father. With that amount the star earns, you know, it's probably just some chump change to him. Something that is also important to mention is that not all accusations from the treasury and millions wasted. No, Messi is also known for his more charitable side. In 2007, the soccer star created the Leo Messi Foundation, which provides aid and opportunities to unprivileged youth. In addition, in 2010, he was named a Goodwill Ambassador by UNICEF, and more recently, in March of this chaotic 2020 to be more exact, the World Health Organization asked him for help to participate in a global campaign to stop the spread of COVID-19, and of course, he agreed. But returning to current day of Leo in the Spanish city, it turns out that neither the million-dollar contract signed in 2017, nor the fact that he's an emblematic figure in the city of Barcelona and an example example to all young fans of the Catalonian club, made him reconsider before announcing his intentions to leave the team. The media exploded a couple days ago after he suffered the humiliating and historical defeat 8-2 against the now European champions Bayern Munich, and since then there's no talk about anything else other than what will be his next destination. Among several other clubs that have sounded strong, it was even said that it is likely that the two best players on the planet, at least for the last decade, would play together at Juventus in Italy. However, it was later said that Leo's destiny was not in the peninsular country, but in the French capital, since PSG, or I should say Paris Saint-Germain, had shown interest in acquiring the services of the star. But what do you think? Will his new address not be in the City of Lights, either because they will have to pay a hefty sum to pay his release clause, but then would it be possible that he would be left without a job? Obviously not. It seems that the Argentinian will have to get used to the cloudy and rainy days, to what is considered the worst food in the world, and to drive on the left, since everything seems to indicate that his new address will be in Manchester, England. And according to a lot of international media, everything would be defined in the next few days. But his father is already in negotiations with Manchester City, a club run by an old acquaintance of Leo's, by the way. And yes, those who know more about this say that Pep Guardiola will play a decisive role in the final decision of his former pupil. So now I ask you, curious, were you also taken by surprise by Messi's departure from the club with which he won everything? Do you think that the reason for his departure was the crushing and humiliating 8-2 score that he suffered against Bayern? Or do you think that Leo had other reasons for making that shocking decision? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, please be sure to like and share and subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow.